Hello everybody and welcome to another video. So in this video we're going to be reviewing some Trench Crusade Prussians and have a little bit of chat about them. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you can help me get to 5,000 subscribers, and then I can do a big giveaway for one of you lucky people as well. Awesome, let's jump in and check it out. So yeah, Trench Crusade, the new sort of big game out on the market, or kind of, but we're going to talk a bit about that now. The new plastics have just arrived. I pre-ordered these, they didn't send me them, so I'm just going to open up and tell you what I think. But first we're going to talk about a little bit of the elephant in the room regarding this kit and Trench Crusade right now. So what we'll do is we'll hop over to here and we'll have a little chat. So as you can see, this is the Trench Crusade website. There are obviously a lot of things here to have a little look at, and you can see that the Prussians are on pre-order and they are there. They also have the STL files as well as the resin miniatures, and then you get a couple of bit of merchandise and you have some busts as well. But all in all, there's quite a lot of stuff here. Now, what is the controversy in regards to the miniatures and this notably? Well, basically what's happened is the guys at Trench Crusade have done a Kickstarter to crowdfund a load of miniatures, and the Kickstarter was to produce resin miniatures as well as STL files. Now, apparently, as far as I'm aware, the STL files are out and have gone back to backers, but the resin miniatures haven't. There are some people still waiting, and as if you go onto the website when we have a look, we will see that the resin miniatures are on pre-order. They still haven't been fulfilled yet, so all of them are still here on pre-order. Now, so all of this is still on pre-order. People have been pre-ordering. You can still pre-order right now, but you can't actually get them. Now, there are this one, the Heretic Legion, apparently is buyable. They're not on pre-order. You are able to slot them into your basket and get them now, where everything else is still on pre-order. And you'll notice that the Heretic Legion reinforcements are there as well, and some of them are kind of like addable, not much though, so it's a bit weird how some of them are available and some of them aren't available, which is yeah. So there's a whole thing about this, and the reason why this is sort of caused an issue is because there are scammers out there that are in the Trench Crusade community right now who are allegedly selling the official miniatures as prints because they have access to the files. They're doing this on platforms like Etsy and things like that, and then when people are going in and ordering them, because you want the official looking miniatures, because the official miniatures are cool, although I do have some unofficial ones, which are kind of nice, but you know, not compared to what these are down here. What these scammers are doing is basically taking a load of orders and then basically closing their shop, taking all the money and doing a runner, and they're not getting any of the things. So it's caused a bit of an issue. And then out of nowhere, this turned up on social media and pre-order. A hard plastic kit. Now, a couple of people are a little bit annoyed because obviously they're waiting for their physical miniatures that they have backed from their Kickstarter, and the company have produced a hard plastic kit, and they're sort kind of accusing them of sort of, you know, using the money from the Kickstarter to produce these miniatures, because new plastic models aren't cheap to produce. But either way, they are, you know, it's a bit of a mess. Now, obviously, you know, it is. The last time I checked the store, nothing was addable to your basket. It was all on pre-order. So what I will do is there's a couple of things there that I need for my Prussians that I can add into it, and I'll add that in and see what happens. See if it turns up, even though it's addable, and see how long it takes before I actually get that miniature, and I'll report back to you guys as well, and we can have a little test just to see, you know, exactly what is available and what isn't available. But anyway, less of this waffling on about drama, and let's talk about the new plastics, because this is pretty cool. Now, first things first, the Prussians are basically a sub-faction for the new Antioch forces, and if you are new to Trench Crusade, I can do a breakdown of all the different factions. If you would like me to do more content on Trench Crusade on the channel, let me know in the comments below. It is a very cool looking game, and it's very grim dark. So yeah, it's kind of pretty. It's kind of captured my imagination, as you can imagine. So yeah, basically these are a variant of the new Antioch army, and the box itself comes with 8 miniatures. So what I'm going to do is we're going to switch the camera and we're going to have a little look at the plastics themselves, and then we'll talk a little bit about what is actually in the box and how that is used on the battlefield, because these models have got different names, but they are essentially the same unit type. Okay, so the box itself, actually quite thin. I've already opened it, had a look at it, so I'll be completely honest. But they are pretty cool. So like I said, you do get a number of models. You basically get these, and they're all named after their Prussian sub-faction types. But don't let that kind of put you off. They are basically new Antioch, essentially. This is basically your cleric. These are your lieutenant. And then you get 3 yeomen and then 3 shock troops. So you're not getting a sniper, you're not getting a medic, you're not getting an engineer, and you don't have a big, massive, heavy infantry armoured walker guy. But that doesn't mean that you can't get them and then add them to this force, which is kind of cool. And hopefully, in the future, we will be able to get hard plastic versions of those miniatures, of those unit types, for the Prussians. And there are like the Papal States and the guys from Ireland and Scotland and stuff like that, which is really kind of cool, because sort of like your new Antioch is basically your imperial faction of Trench Crusade. They are your sort of capture all sort of area of the Imperium. They're kind of like your Imperial Guard, essentially. So let's have a little look at these guys. So hard plastic miniatures, you get a little bag of bases, which is one of the first things you'll notice is you've got the little slot at the bottom there for your magnet, which is kind of good, which is really cool. And you get a nice 2 sprues. Yeah, first things first, quality of the sprue is pretty good. So let's have a little look at that. This is really quite nice. I mean, the level of detail on these is really, really good. Like non-GW hard plastic models are starting to come on. And these are obviously made in Poland, which is obviously says here, and they were produced this year in 2025. Yeah, the level of detail on these is really good. Multi-part hard plastic is really nice. The level of detail on the parts is solid. You can't fault that. You got various options and everything else. Now, obviously, the construction rules for the Warband are found online. You basically use a little URL code here, and that kind of gets you your assembly guide, your starter army list, etc., etc. But yeah, you basically get everything here, basically. But yeah, the level of detail on these is nice. I'm really, really impressed with these. All the parts for the cleric, the yeoman. But yeah, so I'm really going to look forward to seeing what different parts. I really do like these swords. I mean, if you've got these and you're a Black Templar player and you want a different sword, like strapped to a guy's back or something, you know, you've kind of got parts there that you could use. But yeah, I mean, definitely kit bashers galore here. But the Terminator just jumping into screen there. Check out my Instagram for some of the other finished ones. But the parts are quite nice. Like, the level of detail on them is pretty good. I mean, look at that gun. That's a really nice weapon. The little knightly helmet. So yeah, really, really, really impressive. Really looking forward to building these up and getting the Warband on the table. But yeah, really cool. That's basically it. So, like I said, they're basically your starter set, essentially, for a new Antioch army. So if you are wanting to play new Antioch and you don't want to have the standard normal new Antioch, you can basically jump into these and jump into them, and then play New Antioch. Now, obviously, if you use your URL code, you get this little pamphlet that comes up on your phone, which is really cool. And you know, you've got some really nice artwork, and the Warband of the Free States of Prussia, like some little bit of sort of fluff behind them. The Warband rules, which is kind of cool. A sample Warband army list, which is nice. The assembly guide, and then obviously the copyright parts. So you get a little bit of fluff, which is, I don't know if you can see that on my phone. I will try to maybe get this off my phone and then get it over onto my computer, and I'll put a link in the description below that you have a little look at it. But the artwork is pretty sweet. I really quite like it. Some really nice artwork for it. Gives you a little bit of background on them. It gives you strengths about them. So they've got obviously the fire team specialist. They get an additional fire team rather than 2 fire teams that New Antioch normally get. These guys get 3. They get rapid assault and masters of the grenade. They get the weaknesses, the lightly armed, close quarters focused. And basically you get your guys that you have in your army. So there you have all of their sort of combat sort of roles. So you create a warband. There's the designer notes. So basically you get a lieutenant, a trench cleric, and then a shock troop, and then obviously you get your yeoman as well, just like I said earlier. You get your special rules, your armory options, and then your melee options and equipment. You can find all of these rules on the Trench Crusade website under the warbands list. The factions list, there is a section for New Antioch, and it has all of the New Antioch rules. And then it has the different sort of sub-factions, like the Papal State and the Prussians, as well as like Scotland and Ireland and stuff like that. So, you know, you've got all of that there. This kind of just gives you everything in a little booklet, which is kind of cool. And then you've got your sword. So you get more artwork. So you basically, what it is it literally, rather than trying to work out what these guys are with the other warband list, this basically tells you. So your Hauptmann is basically your lieutenant, and he costs you 70. Now it says you get a sniper priest in your army list, 0 to 1, but you don't get one in the box. And then you get your Feldkaplan, which is basically your cleric, the guy with the big armor. And then you get your yeoman, which you get 3 of, and then you get your Strosstruppen, which are basically your shock troops. And then you can have a couple of combat medics, and then you get your really big heavy infantry guy as well. So the sample army list basically consists of a lieutenant, a cleric, a couple of stormtroopers, shock troops, and then a couple of yeomanry. And you can give one like medic kits and a musical instrument and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. And then you've got another alternative as well with the alternative builds for the model. So obviously there are a number of builds. So one of the cleric, you can give him the really big sword. So the big tank splitter sword, which is the one that's on the box in the art and on the box itself with a big 2-handed sword. Or you can build this guy, which essentially looks like he has a pistol, a machine gun, a sword, and then standard armor. So there's different builds for that. So obviously, if you buy an additional box of this is going to give you additional options and different build options, which is kind of cool as well. So obviously you get your different guys as well, and yeah, that's kind of cool. And then you get your assembly guide, which is what I'm going to go and use right now. But that is Trench Crusade. So yeah, let me know in the comments below if you want me to do more Trench Crusade. Myself and my friend is going to start playing it. I'm going to have to sort of beg my friend Pete to print me out a trench line for our games, or I may have to invest in a 3D printer myself so I can start printing out World War I stuff. But yeah, it's a really cool game. You don't need many models. I think it's about 12 models maximum that you need, which is really, really cool. And yeah, it's awesome. It's messed up, grimdark World War I with the church fighting demons, and you've got all the sorts of crazy stuff, and it's like, yeah, super cool, super cool. So yeah, so if you want me to do more Trench Crusade content, get it in the comments below and let me know. And while you're there, smash that subscribe button and help me get to 5,000 subscribers. And then when I hit 5,000, I will be doing a giveaway for one lucky winner, as well as maybe a couple of others for some dice, because now I've got a sponsor over at Borrowing a Dice, which is pretty cool. But that's the video, everybody. I will catch you all in the next one. I'm going to go and build my new models, drink my coffee, and try to look like a human. And I'll catch you later.